We try not to get out of the truck unless we absolutely have to. It's so important for drivers right now to have the ability to cook on their truck, and in some cases even bathe on your truck, with a sponge bath.
If everyone who is out of work is being cared for, then we should be cared for too, because we might not be out of work, but we're not being treated essential. I feel like we're part of that 100,000 number that's just built in, that we're just part of the statistics.
The reality of the situation is we're risking our lives for non-essential items. We're talking about cosmetics and sex toys. We're risking our lives for these things.
The coronavirus is showing us there's a new kind of essential worker on the front lines of this pandemic. While millions stay at home, grocery workers, warehouse workers, truck drivers, and many more are venturing out on the job every single day, feeding the insatiable demand for food and supplies. These are jobs that can't be done from home, and with an ongoing unemployment crisis crippling our country, many workers have no option other than to show up, despite the health risk. With mounting pressure to deliver, workers tell us they're doing their jobs without the proper protection and without enough pay. The most common worry we hear, surviving this pandemic has become an impossible choice between paying the bills or staying healthy. How's it been working at Ralph's over the past couple of months?
It's been very hectic. It's been large crowds. The protection that they give us isn't the best. I mean, it's getting us, but we don't feel too protected. It's just been crazy.
For over a decade, Viller Bates has worked at Ralph's in Southern California, owned by Kroger, the largest grocery chain in the nation. On April 3rd, the company announced they would provide hero pay of an extra $2 an hour for their employees.
What I do know is that I've never been more proud of our more than 460,000 associates. Working together, our associates help create a safe environment for our customers and each other so that we can provide our communities with access to fresh, affordable food and essentials.
However, the company ended that extra hazard pay by mid-May amid protests.
When you realize that this pay is going to go away, how does that make you feel?
It makes me upset because we're dealing with being in the pandemic still. The coronavirus is still here. We don't know who is not sick. And we got to deal with the attitudes as well, because they can't get all the things that are in the store. And honestly, the $2 is not even enough. They just want us to work at our normal business, and it's not normal business yet at all.
After protests and pressure, Kroger announced that instead of hero pay, it will now offer a one-time new bonus payment, up to $400 for full-time employees and $200 for part-time workers. The grocer saying as the country moves toward reopening, we will continue to safeguard our associates' health and well-being and recognize their work.
What does this say about the way our society values our frontline grocery workers?
That we don't matter as much as the other frontline workers. We're some of the lowest pay that are considered essential. So I just feel like they don't value us as much, and they don't think that we, create a difference or a change in the community.
Nationwide, 3 million workers have been deemed essential, keeping the shelves stocked as Americans stay home. And in rural parts of the country, like in North Carolina, Dollar General has become more critical than ever.
So I work at the Dollar General just up the road. It's good to know that we are able to pick up the slack when the actual grocery store can't do it. Please, ma'am.
Oh, hi. Who's that?
This is Max.
Oh, hi, sweetie.
Sorry. All right, in here. I love you.
Wait, you are an essential worker, and how much do you make?
$10 an hour.
Is that enough to?
I can't even get the essentials. My truck comes on Tuesday, and I'm lucky if I have the money to get the toilet paper that I need for my family. There's just 4 of us. I don't need a lot. I've always chosen to do jobs that maybe others would look down upon, but I felt that they had merit and they made me a better person on the inside. I might not have a lot to show for it, but I have a lot of happiness, and I feel like my soul is happier, it's lighter. I didn't sign up to be on the front lines of anything. You know, we didn't sign up for this, and I can't not be there. Everyone's like, well, just don't go. Or I have, a family and bills. My husband doesn't have a job right now because of this, so I'm the only one working for the four of us. I can't afford to not do it.
Dollar General has offered bonus pay to workers, provided additional cleaning supplies, and recently installed new plexiglass barriers at the checkout to protect workers like Long.
The company saying in a statement, during these unprecedented times, our employees continue to reflect Dollar General's mission of serving others by supporting the communities we call home. Now more than ever, employees across our organization are committed to providing American families with the value and convenience they need and expect from Dollar General, all while keeping health and safety top of mind.
Above the physical exhaustion, it's just mentally so exhausting to not know how or when this is ever going to end. And the only way that I get paid to be off is if I have COVID, if I've been diagnosed, if one of my kids, my husband. I don't want that, but I want a break.
All that food comes from somewhere. As shoppers clear out shelves, the trucking industry has been operating at full speed, trying to get the goods from warehouses and factories to grocery stores around the country. With about 70% of freight transported on trucks and 3.5 million truckers on the road, there's even more pressure on truckers to keep working, despite their own health concerns.
Today I have a load of beef. All kinds of steak products. I just went to here in Arkansas, and then I'm going to leave from here, and the other part of this load goes to Mississippi.
How are you feeling about all of this? This is a really difficult time, and you are taking some pretty drastic measures.
I'm trying to look at the fact that what we're doing right now is even more important than the 29 years prior that I've been in this industry. Truckers are we are the lifeline of America, and this is America's chance to actually see that unfold right before their eyes. They're so used to going into the grocery store and everything that they need is there, or shopping for clothes and everything that they need is there, but they don't understand the whole process of the supply chain.
What are you doing to make sure that you're staying as safe and as healthy as possible out there?
I put a scarf around my nose and my mouth as I'm going into the truck stop. We do wear gloves. We go in, get what we need. We're not stopping and having conversation with anybody. So as much as we don't need to go inside or out of our truck, we're quarantined within our cabs. So that's the best way to put it.
It's a small place to be quarantined when you're on the road.
Tell me about it. It is small. You don't focus on that small space, because right now I think every trucker in America at some point is thinking, man, to be noticed and recognized for the hard work that we're doing.
One of the companies benefiting most from stay-at-home orders is, of course, Amazon, run by the world's richest person, Jeff Bezos. The country's most popular e-commerce platform brought in $75 billion in revenue in the first 3 months of this year. But some warehouse workers say the company is putting profits over its own people, that Amazon was slow to provide new safety guidelines and protection when the coronavirus first hit. The pressure to make changes comes in part from Chris Smalls. He's a former warehouse worker at JFK 8, an Amazon warehouse in Staten Island, New York. He was fired after he organized a worker strike, calling for better health protections on the job back in late March.
There's 5,000 employees in that building. So there's no way you can stop the spread once the virus is in there.
The huge demand for Amazon packages has prompted the company to hire an additional 175,000 workers in what it calls an unprecedented time.
You worked inside Amazon during the ramp up of COVID-19.
in many ways, you're putting your life on the line. What is that like?
During that time, beginning of March, it was very scary. We had no cleaning supplies. We didn't have the PPE provided, no facial mask, and people around me were getting sick. It was a domino effect. I saw my colleagues with flu-like symptoms. That's not what we signed up for. The country, the government deemed us as essential workers. That doesn't make us essential workers just because somebody else say it. And that goes for the consumers as well. That think, one click buy, to order a package, and it just, poof, voila, it's on their doorsteps. You're putting people's lives at risk.
After an Amazon colleague he came into contact with was diagnosed with COVID-19, Smalls organized a protest outside the warehouse for March 30th. He was fired hours after the event took place.
The reality of the situation is we're risking our lives for non-essential items. They made sure they still sell their Amazon-owned products. Talk about Fire Sticks and Echoes. We're talking about cosmetics and sex toys. We're risking our lives for these things. That's not fair to us. It's not fair to our families and our communities.
In a statement to NBC News on the day of his firing, Amazon responded, saying,
Mr. Smalls received multiple warnings for violating social distancing guidelines and putting the safety of others at risk. He was also found to have had close contact with a diagnosed associate with a confirmed case of COVID-19 and was asked to remain home with pay for 14 days, which is a measure we're taking at sites around the world. Despite that instruction to stay home with pay, he came on site today, March 30th, further putting the teams at risk. This is unacceptable, and we have terminated his employment as a result of these multiple safety issues. When you say they quarantined you, what I want to understand is, did they think you were at risk or that you were showing symptoms exactly? Or were they using this as a way to get you off JFK 8?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a tactic for them to get me out of there. They knew that I was raising concerns.
In response to those concerns, Amazon told NBC News that all its employees had access to wipes and sanitation supplies from the beginning, saying in part, since the early days of this situation, we have worked closely with health authorities to respond proactively, ensuring we can continue to serve communities while taking care of our associates and teams. Safety is our top priority, and we are committed to ensuring a clean and safe workplace. The company also says it expects to spend more than $800 million in the first half of the year on process updates like cleaning and safety measures, including masks, gloves, and thermometers.
But if you had a few minutes to talk to the Amazon CEO and founder, Jeff Bezos, what would you say to him? What would you ask for?
I would tell him to, take care of your employees. We built this enterprise for you. Enough is enough. We're tired of being expendable. We're tired of being replaceable. It's time to be protected. And it's time for us to have transparency and honesty.
Amazon will not tell us how many people have passed away from COVID-19. They will not tell us how many people have tested positive or even how many employees they are testing. Why don't you think they're providing that information?
Because if it came out to the public, the real truth, it would be alarming. It would probably be devastating, and they know that. This company's ran off of metrics. I worked for them since 2015. The way they operate, everything they do is ran off of metrics. But you're telling me they don't know how many cases they got in these buildings? They know. They're just not going to ever share it with us, and that's the real problem.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.